Hello and welcome to this post-fight fan show. We have got some guests on the line. We are joined by Joe Joyce, pundit Keith Fraser, and we're going to have some fans on as well. There's Joe Joyce. Hi Joe, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, pretty good.
What did you make of that fight?
I thought it was a great fight and it was very entertaining to the end. I liked, Chisora was coming forward. He had it in the tank to keep going, and he was keeping on throwing bombs to the end. And Usyk, how I expected, he'd be quite measured and use his footwork and get around the ring and use his box smarts to land shots. But I knew he wouldn't really trouble Chisora. But I thought Chisora's right southpaw jab works. He's landing shots.
Do you feel that Usyk has proved himself now at heavyweight? Do you think that people are going to take him more seriously at heavyweight, or do you think that he still needs to prove that?
Sorry.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I could just. Yeah. No, say that. Sorry, say the question again. I was just getting distracted by Thomas there.
Do you think that Usyk's now proved himself at heavyweight, that people will take him a bit more seriously, or do you think that he's still going to have a few more fights to be?
No, definitely, because Chisora's always been the gatekeeper, and he put up a valiant effort. And Usyk really showed his class, and he was able to live with heavyweights. So perhaps he wasn't really troubling with the power, but he was definitely won the fight using his boxing skill. So we shall see with his further fights.
Do you see him being able to take on bigger, heavier people in the heavyweight division? The ones with the titles. Do you see him coming up against the likes of Fury and AJ?
Yeah, I think he can definitely take them on. Whether he'll win, that's another question. He's got the brains and the boxing technique, footwork, angle, skill, and he's a southpaw, so it'd definitely be interesting to watch. But with him being hit cleanly by a heavyweight, we'll see if he can take that kind of power.
You have 4 weeks now till your fight against Daniel Dubois. 4 weeks out. How's the preparation going?
Yeah, preparation is going good. I'm doing more and more rounds each week, and I'm really starting to take off with my fitness, boxing, and movement, and my game plan, and everything's really coming together. So I'm going into the fight. I'm feeling like I was kind of getting into Vegas, so things are going well, and I'm looking forward to the fight.
Because obviously it was rescheduled, so you said you were in the form of your life in Vegas before the fight. It was meant to happen in April. Do you feel like, even though you've not been able to go to Vegas, it's a different circumstance now? Do you feel like you're just as good, better, going to be prepared for the fight?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I've been doing great work with Steve Broughton and Cameron Goff, and Salas came over, and he's been really fine-tuning me, and working at Stallard's has been a blessing as well, especially during lockdown and etc. So it's great to have a base and to be back in England. It's not quite as good as Vegas and access to the UFC facility, but you have to deal with the card you've been dealt with. So I've been, I've taken that with both hands, and I'm putting the work in the gym, and things are going well, and I'm looking forward to the fight. And I'm increasing my rounds every week in sparring. I'm leveling up each week, so I've got, I think, another 3 more weeks training, and I'll be ready to go.
So now you've obviously had a camp in the UK, and compared to all your other camps in Vegas, when things go back to normal, you're going to keep the camps in the UK, or do you think you're going to go back to Vegas?
It just depends on how things are going and if I can travel to Vegas, because we did see if it'd be possible to go back to Vegas, and but I think you needed some special visa, and it's it's a little bit hard to do that at the moment. But
If you had
I'll
free travel,
definitely,
though.
yeah, I'll definitely prefer to be in Vegas. It's nice to be like away from home. There's sunshine. It's the boxing capital or whatever, and I just feel like I perform better in a different place. And plus, Salas has got his gym out there, his new gym. He's been, everything's in place, and he's got more fighters there. So it is, I like to be away from home because I normally spend my time. I'm used to being away from home. I've done almost. I think I've done like 3 camps in Vegas already, plus Big Bear. So it's where I feel comfortable, and I would like to continue bringing the best out of myself by taking myself away from England and coming back on fire.
Well, we just need to remind everyone we have got your signed glove to give away. Thank you for this.
Yeah.
So people can join with the competition. They just need to subscribe to your YouTube channel, Joe Joyce Boxing. So get subscribing, and then you will pick a winner at random to win this signed glove.
Yeah.
So
that's right, man. Check out my page, everyone. My YouTube channel, where I've got all exclusive content and that. So check me out and press the subscribe link.
Subscribe, and then you're automatically
for a chance to win. Yeah.
Signed glove. Thanks, Joe. Good luck on the 28 4 weeks.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, look. Perfect. So yeah, just I know, that was nice.
Special.
Subscribe to Joe Joyce's channel and you can win this signed glove. He will pick at random a winner. So we've got some more guests joining us. I don't actually know who's up. Keith, are you there? Keith Fraser? Hi.
I've been waiting patiently to get my 2 pennies worth,
My man.
Hey, my man Jordan, who was on the Rock and Roll Tennis podcast that I host with John Lloyd. I don't know if anyone watching knows that Jordan was almost a professional tennis player as well as the future of the cruiserweight division.
We did speak about this earlier.
Oh, have you? Sorry. I beg your pardon. And obviously Don Charles, the top trainer. It's great to be able to talk to you guys. I have to say, though, John, I know that you were very strongly tipping Chisora to win. I don't agree with what Joe Joyce said, that it was a great fight. It was an okay fight. Yeah, it was decent. There was action. To be honest with you, Dereck Chisora, in my eyes, as a fan, is a bit of a plodder. He did what he had to do in the first round, I think, which was the only round that he really looked particularly aggressive and was coming forward. But the rest of the fight, once Usyk got into his stride, he was just picking him off. This wasn't really a test for Usyk. You can't really tell how good he's going to be at heavyweight by fighting Dereck Chisora. Dereck Chisora is a good heavyweight. He's not an elite heavyweight. He's under that, just under that. So I would say, to be honest with you, we still don't know where Usyk is at heavyweight, but he's certainly got the ring craft. He's got the footwork. As a fan, and I love boxing, it's all about footwork. I think footwork is more important than the quality of your handwork, because you can't hit what's not there. Footwork is what Usyk's all about. And I don't think Chisora could really land a flush shot on the Usyk chin. It's going to be very different when Usyk moves up in class. Can he beat a Joshua? I actually think he'd have a good chance against a Joshua. I don't think he'd have any chance against a Fury, because I think a tricky big un beats a tricky little un. So I just think the jury is out on Usyk still, but he did what he had to do,
What do you think is next for Chisora then? What do you think he should do now?
There's guys there for him to fight. There are guys there. I mean, look, he didn't fight Joseph Parker. That fight didn't go ahead. There are fights out there if he wants to make money. He's not going to challenge for a heavyweight title ever again. But he's a draw. And if fans want to go and see him, they'll pay their money. Hopefully when we're out of this COVID situation, he's going to make money. He's a fan's favourite. But he's not going to be challenging for the heavyweight title, for any version of the heavyweight title. There's a big queue, and he ain't getting anywhere near that front, in my opinion.
But you think Usyk can challenge for those titles?
I definitely do. He's got the ring craft. Look, the only thing is he hasn't got the power. But then, with all due respect, nor is Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is not a puncher. So,
It's true.
Interesting.
sorry, there's a bit of interference there. I couldn't quite hear. But look, in my opinion, Fury is not a puncher. But you don't have to be a puncher to be winning on points like he did tonight. He's got the ring craft. He's got the footwork. He's going to be a handful for anybody.
Interesting. Don't know if Don agrees with all those points.
Well, they're all valid points. Starting with the Dereck Chisora, strongly, for a lot of reasons, strongly fancied him to pull this off. If you employ the right tactics. Okay. My main thing when I was training him was always about keeping shape, your fighting shape. And what I saw tonight, the positives are that he went 12 rounds. He was getting hit far too many times. He lost his fighting shape from after round 1. He was almost like a very unschooled fight. It was very, very messy. We know that Usyk is really good. His ring IQ is second to none. We knew all that. His ring craft, like you quite notably said, is exceptional. But not to the degree where you look like you haven't boxed before against him. That's my only disappointment, or one of my disappointments, what I watched earlier on. So he was constantly switching southpaw, Dereck, which I know if I was still training, which I'm not, I would have definitely not allowed that in preparation, okay? So I don't know why the hell they allowed him in training to do that, because they must have been getting away with it against sparring partners who are not up to the level of competition he was going to go in. So he must have been getting away with it. They weren't punishing him. And tonight was very evident. Every time he got into a southpaw stance, he left himself very vulnerable. And I was very concerned about that. So I was very, very disappointed and annoyed at that. The fight was very, very, very messy, because Dereck said, I'm going to turn it into a war. But it was very, very messy. I didn't enjoy it purely for that. And Chisora, we know, he's got a great chin, unbelievable chin. Usyk was putting punches together, flush bang on the chin, and he soaked it all up. And I was surprised to see him finish the fight, I'll be honest with you. I had tipped him to win by stoppage, Dereck, because I knew that if he did the right thing by keeping his fighting shape and land a big looping right, or he never threw left hook at any point.
Not even to the body.
Yeah, to the body. And, you know, so I was very disappointed in terms of it's all kept putting pressure. It's got to be calculated, technical pressure. I didn't see any of that. It wasn't evident. It was almost like a guy who's never fought before. So I am very disappointed in that. Because the reasons I tipped him to win based on his... If you go and look at his previous performances, when he's turned up to fight, at least he kept his shape, okay? He's always had a chance. If you keep your shape during it, you always have a chance to land that money shot, which he never came... He threw it, but it was well out of range every time he threw it. So I was very disappointed. Going on to Usyk, can Usyk win a world title in this current heavyweight times? Never say never. The boxing IQ is there, the ring craft is there, but unfortunately for him, he's around at the wrong time, in my opinion. You quite rightly said, against Fury, Fury does what Usyk does, but he's bigger than Usyk. AJ is more static, so yes, if he's gonna get success, his probably best option is AJ, but he can't afford to take a shot from AJ because he'll get knocked out. Okay, so but because AJ is more static, heavyweight, then Usyk might have success there by using his ring craft. Against Wilder, again, he'll have problems because one thing
Don,
you know that.
Sorry
Yes.
to interrupt you. There's a bit of interference here, but I've got to say that if if Joshua vacates the WBO title and Usyk steps in, I think he's got a great chance of winning a version of the world title. And you know what? I don't understand Anthony Joshua's comments of today or yesterday saying that Usyk has brought, because he was in the amateurs for so long, he's brought his hit and don't get hit style into the professionals.
That is the whole point of boxing.
That is the art of boxing.
Absolutely. Which is what he employed, and that's a bit of a hypocritical comment, because that's what he had to employ those tactics against the Ruiz second fight. He had to employ those tactics, hit and don't get hit, to get victory over Ruiz. So that's a contradictory type of comment.
Well, look, for me, I thought it was a very strange comment to make. You know, hit and don't get hit. That is how you win fights the proper way. That's the way you box.
100%.
He's not going to stand, plant his feet, and deliver big bombs. That's not him.
No. Especially against someone as dangerous as Chisora.
No, thanks.
Of course.
Keith, thank you for joining us.
Great to see you guys. Hope to see you both very soon, Don. And Jordan, my main man. I can't wait to see you fight soon.
Mate, me neither.
Come on.
Appreciate you, bro. I'll speak soon,
Have a good evening.
Have
And
a good
you.
one, bro.
Bye. Bye.
See you.
Appreciate you, bro.
Next, we have Paul Carey on the line. I think is he there? Paul, can you hear us?
Paul.
Hello, joined by Ricky Grover. Hi. Oh, we can't hear you.
No, I think they're on mute. This button here says mute and it's got a light on.
Oh no, I got that wrong. We're okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been on the whole time.
I was about to say, it's a bit worrying.
We can't hear you. You need to unmute your microphone.
Technology is not an easy thing.
I know. I wouldn't have a clue.
How's that?
Oh, there
We
we
can
go.
hear you, we
Here
can
we
hear
go.
you.
We got you.
We're on.
We're on.
Hello. So
Don,
Paul, you were you're an
can I-
amateur coach, and you actually took Chisora on the pads one of the first times.
I've got really bad interference here.
Oh no, everyone's getting interference. Can you hear us? I wonder if I need to-
I can hear you, but there's a bad feedback coming over the top. Can you hear us clearly?
Yeah, we can.
We can hear you clearly,
Okay,
yeah.
so you spoke about you taking
Dereck on the pads the first time he come in.
Right, I did. That's very, very true. Don, I've met you before some time ago, actually. I've been to your gym at Mill Hill.
Yeah, I do recall, yes.
And I used to train the kids at Finchley many, many years ago. In fact, when Del Boy first was brought into us, I tended to deal with all the heavyweights there. And I just found, I'll be absolutely straight with you, he's the only kid I was unable to work with was Dereck. But then, what do I know? He went on to win the ABAs. He fought Klitschko. He's done incredibly well. And what I would say, I was a little bit surprised tonight at the fight I just witnessed. I didn't think it was a particularly good performance by a long shot by Dereck. I thought his timing was out. He wasn't cutting off the ring. He was chasing Usyk about. I just didn't think it was a good performance. And I don't know whether... I know he's got a very good engine, but I just have a feeling that maybe time is starting to catch up a little bit with him. I don't know whether you agree with that or not, Don. And also, I think it's also proved I cannot see Usyk going too far in the heavyweight brigade at all. I don't think he would be able to stand up. Given, I appreciate he's got good skills. He would appear to have better skills, but that's purely because he's that much lighter. He's able to move that little bit quicker, so on and so forth. But whether he's able to stand up, I don't believe he would ever stand up to the likes of Tyson Fury, to Dillian White, to Joshua, to Wilder. I think he has no chance. Personally, I think he has no chance whatsoever.
You are joined there by Ricky Grover, comedian. What did you make of that? And are you a big boxing fan?
Yeah, I'm a big boxing fan, and I've been around the gyms for years. And I actually moved about with Dereck when he was a kid, when he first come in, and told him off for being arrogant. And then actually quite liked him once I got past the arrogance, realised he just one of his little defences he uses with people. I really enjoy. I mean, he's one of those people you never know who's going to turn up and what he's going to do and how he's going to do it. As a fight tonight, it wasn't a particularly good fight in my eyes, but then it's easier to say that because southpaws can be very awkward and they can make a fight look messy. And Dereck came in sort of with this sort of more relaxed style, just sort of throwing big bowling right hands, which he's always done. But tonight he looked a little bit like Don said earlier on. He never kept his shape, and he sort of just plodded about. And he may have even overtrained and got a little bit stout. That can happen as well.
I think he left some of it in the gym. That's my view.
But I definitely do not see Usyk being a big name in the heavyweight division. I think he's a fantastic cruiserweight, but I don't see him being any big shakes in the heavyweight division. And, perhaps Dereck's style may suit him a little bit and styles clash. But I agree with Paul. Some of these other fighters, I think, will put them to bed very early.
What were your predictions before the fight? Did you predict
my predictions?
Win?
I put a tweet out that I thought that Usyk would stop Dereck between 6 and 9 rounds unless he got in the trenches with Dereck. And if he got in the trenches with Dereck, it very well could have gone the other way. Dereck's a big hitter, and he's a heavyweight. And whatever way you look at it, Usyk is a cruiserweight.
Paul, what was your prediction?
What was my prediction?
Yeah, before the fight.
Well, I wanted Dereck to win, and I wanted to see Usyk tested. I wanted to see him
roughed up,
take a punch off of Dereck or someone in Dereck's category, and how he would stand up to that. I think Dereck did get to him. Actually, he did hurt Usyk on a couple of occasions, but for some reason, to me, his timing was just. And he twice he did 365 degrees after throwing a punch during that fight. Maybe he should have been on Strictly a bit earlier in the night. I don't know, but I don't know. I was sad, to be honest with you, because I think that Dereck is better than that. And I think if you go back a few years when he was with Don, the fighter he was with Don, that would have been a different story tonight. I'm not trying to blow smoke up.
No,
Don's,
I have to step in
particular
there.
orifice. I'm just saying, but I do think it would have been a different fight.
Yeah, Paul. Basically, like you said, you've trained Dereck before, so you know the character we're dealing with, right? He's not the easiest person to work with. He's my first son in boxing. I owe him everything. The name that I've gotten from boxing is through working with him. But it was hell working with him. It really was. My disappointment is when David Hayes stepped in and whispered to him, and he dumped me, basically. I'm not a bitter man. I've always been pro him. But I was quite sad watching that tonight, to be quite frank, because they don't know the fighter they're working with. And this is a typical prime example of when these fighters, when they say loyalties, it's a typical example. The cornerman, David Hay, they don't know Dereck Chisora that I know. They don't know him. And there comes a time where the fighter taps into that relationship. I didn't feel that connection with those coaches. So they were just letting him do.
Don, David Hay was telling us all how we were going to see things that we've never seen.
Yeah, but
from
listen, Paul.
Dereck
The man's a great salesman.
I didn't see anything that hadn't
the man
seen
could
from
sell.
Dereck
He could
before.
sell.
What I did see was that Dereck not on form.
Yeah,
as far as
Dereck Chisora, David Hecon sells sands to the Arabs. We know that. How many times has he sold the British public? Yeah, he's just a very good at selling. Yeah, and he sold that to maximize the pay-per-view. That was what that was all about. Yeah, but I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about my son, Dereck Chisora, in boxing. Is that
right? So we're actually having trouble hearing a lot of what you're saying at the moment, unfortunately, Don.
Okay.
So I'm not picking everything up.
Can you hear me better?
Like an echo of your voice. It's very difficult.
Can you hear me better?
It's a bit like you're underwater, but
yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I was like yourself. I was very disappointed in what I saw tonight.
Oh, good. Well, listen. Of all the people, you spent the time with Dereck, didn't you? So to hear you say that.
Yeah, I'm just confirming what you said earlier on. I was very disappointed.
And maybe what Rick was been saying as well.
Yeah, I was very disappointed because this is a guy who's campaigned at a very, very top level. You've been in with Klitschko, you've been in with Helenius.
Correct.
When you've gone and see the performances, you don't suddenly lose your fighting shape. Those are the fundamentals that you come through your career with. So I no disrespect to Usyk. Yeah, he's a great mover. Yes, but Dereck, you're a very well seasoned pro. There are certain fundamentals that you do not lose. You take them with you. I wanted to see that tonight. I wanted to see that evidence. Cut off the ring. Keep your shape.
Why did he fall? Tell me, why did he fall short? He was throwing punches which were, a foot.
There was no setup, Paul. There was no setup. There was no setup. He wasn't setting anything up. Right? Yeah. So the first thing you teach a guy with bobbing and weave style, get your feet there first. Get your feet into position before you chuck the big bombs. Yeah? When he knocked out Takam, it was the same technique. Get your feet first, then you bowl it. Right?
Well, what I'm asking you, Don, is then why? Why was that missing tonight? Did he overtrain?
No.
Did he leave it in the gym?
I wouldn't say that. You're right. David Hebb prides himself on the fitness, and I've seen how hard they work. Yeah, they don't do runs. They do short bursts, explosive rounds and rounds and rounds. I'm old school. I believe in doing a bit of that, but I believe in running hill sprint. I believe in the old-fashioned way of getting a fighter fit. Yeah. But what I'm alarmed at is that they've coached his style out of him. The style that I formulated for him.
I think you're right.
I can't say, listen, I'm actually very angry, so I will open up. I'm being a bit conservative. Part of the reason I left the camp, David requested that I left after the Dillian White fight. He was giving Dereck too many instructions in preparation. I said, look, are you the coach or are you the manager? Right? Yeah. If I'm the coach, I've been coaching this kid. I know this fighter. You don't know this fighter. You may have knocked him out, but you don't know him. So therefore, he didn't like me challenging him to say, do the managerial role, which I will not interfere with. Let me coach this fighter. He didn't like that challenge. That's why I was got rid of the team.
Well, I'm glad you have said that, because again, as I said a little bit earlier, the fact is that some of the commentators at the end were saying, "Oh, it was a great fight." Was it? It wasn't.
No, it was not a great fight.
It wasn't a great fight, and more importantly, from Dereck's, from looking at Dereck, it was one of his. It just wasn't a good fight on his part whatsoever. He was actually. I was trying to work out whether it was down to extremely good footwork by Usyk, or whether it was Dereck was chasing him rather than cutting him off across the ring. I could pick so many faults. Very easy for us in an armchair to sit back and do.
Yeah, but we're all boxing men here, so you can't say what you saw. Yeah, yes. We're all boxing. You can't say what you saw is exactly what we saw. There are fundamentals that you do not. You're not a beginner. You're a seasoned, well-seasoned, traveled, well-learned fighter. So all the things you've learned, they can't disappear, evaporate overnight. No matter how good Usyk is.
No, I agree. And also, when you're talking about him sort of switching to southpaw, it wasn't like an intentional to throw him. It was like him throwing him right hand, catching himself off balance, and all of a sudden he was in a southpaw position. He was like, there was a lot of basics
He left
that
himself
would-
so exposed whilst doing that. And he was doing, but
Exactly.
apparently that was part of the game plan.
Really?
Which is very.
Well, it was
He
wrong.
said it.
He got
He
it-
said it
he-
after
he
the
got
fight.
it.
He said, which is I'll never advise Dereck to turn, because when he has done, when David Hay knocked him out, is when he switched into southpaw, which we don't practice with him. He got knocked out when he went into southpaw by David Hay. So why the hell he will make him go through camp? They've had quite a long camp and practicing fighting Usyk, one of the best southpaws in the business, to fight him at his own. He can't do that.
No, I agree.
No, I agree.
That was, so I'm very disappointed. And Dereck, even the corner told Dereck during the fight that he was winning the fight.
I actually had Dereck down for the first 3 rounds, as it happens.
Down, did you say?
I had the final score pretty 116, 112, but I actually had him on the first 3 rounds. But come round 6, it was back to even Stevens, and from then on it was Usyk.
Well, that's
and
very
it is a
kind of
shame.
you. The scoring. That was
It
very
is a
kind of
shame.
you, because I scored the first 2 rounds to Dereck, and the rest, no way. Usyk just scoring the points, doing what he does best.
But isn't it a shame, Don, when you've got, especially for maybe yourself, when you know the capabilities of Dereck,
The fighter,
and to see that, I find that, and listen, I was a coach at the Finchley Boxing Club, which is where he started.
That's right.
And although I started by saying, well, I struggled and couldn't. I mean, Johnny Oliver was the one who he worked with there, I think, at the end of the day, if my memory serves me right. But I'm disappointed because, at the end of the day, he's from the Finchley Club, so that's where my heart lies. And I would just really wanted him to put Usyk to the test. And listening to the talk before, especially from David Hay, we were going to see all this. And
Something we've never seen before,
Yeah, I tell you, I've never seen him fight quite as badly as that. He was right.
Yeah, it looks. Listen, we can go around and round, and we know what we saw. We're all boxing men here, boxing people. There's a lady here. We're all boxing men and people. So therefore, we know what we saw. We're sober, so we're not intoxicated, and we're sober.
No, I'm drunk as a sack.
I've
got to be. Listen,
All right,
I'm
Ricky.
also a
Ricky.
and a dolphin trainer, so
Yeah.
Okay. Lovely to speak to you.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Ricky.
Stay safe.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Stay safe. God bless.
Speak to you soon.
God bless.
Bye.
Right, I'm not sure whether we've got some fans on now. Debates. So we can get some fan calls in. Hello. Can you hear us? You look frozen.
Frozen, I got it.
Definitely frozen.
He must be frozen.
And if he's not, we should be worried.
You should be worried, boy. Oh my
He
gosh.
must have stare.
I nearly went flying then,
Really?
I can't lie.
Almost went backwards.
Oh, that was my,
Yo, can you...
Hello.
Go.
That would have been fun though, wouldn't
Hey,
it?
how y'all doing?
What's your name?
My name's Mike.
Mike. Where are you calling from?
I'm from US.
What's your thoughts on the fight?
What happened?
What's your thoughts on the fight?
I mean, I think y'all should help Sped Money find his cow, your milk god.
Put your camera down a little bit. We can only see the top of your head.
What happened?
Just move your camera slightly down. Because we can't
Hello?
quite see you. Hello? Oh no, he's frozen as well. Oh no.
Can't lie, I didn't think he was a serious contender.
No, I don't think he was either.
I don't think
Couldn't even see him.
he was too serious.
Have we got anyone else on? Next one. I think we're having technical problems. People might be freezing. I can hear someone. Can you turn your phone landscape or yeah, your phone probably. Turn it landscape.
We
We can
Hello?
see it.
Hello?
Good.
Yeah.
Hello. What's your name?
Hello, Thomas.
Thomas. What did you think of the fight?
It's exactly how I thought it would go. I had the same bet as you, Usyk on points.
Yeah.
Safe money. Good money. Good bet.
Yes.
Did Chisora put up more of a fight than what you thought?
I mean, I knew he had heart. Like, and either he would go out in like the 9th round or something, or he would just stick through and like just lose on points. But I didn't have him winning. No way.
Because he was convinced, I think, that he had the win.
Definitely.
I mean, against Takam, you saw him like still win the fight, like a rough fight. But against Usyk, against Tony Bellew, was just way too good. So I had like a lot of faith in him.
Where are you calling from?
From Germany.
Oh, lovely. Thanks for joining us.
Wie geht es dir?
Ganz gut. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Whereabouts in Germany are you from?
I'm from Berlin. I mean, I'm from South Africa, but I live in Germany.
Nice.
Oh, lovely.
Right, Germany.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Germany's a nice place, to be fair.
Well-
Munich.
No probs.
Take care.
What was his name? I don't know his name.
Thomas.
Thomas, like Thomas is because I said Thomas the Tank Engine.
Thomas, you got another one? Hello. Can you hear us? Oh no. Hello.
Question mark.
Oh, I've never seen that before.
It's different.
We can't hear or see you. Our names.
You sit behind me.
Oh yeah, is that?
It's giving you the stare.
So you can
You know when it gives you that stare.
try it.
Oh, we've lost the connection. We've lost the connection. Thank you so much for joining us, all the fans and the call-ins. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you some of you predicted it right, like me, the final one. I think we got, one each. Maybe you got 1.5.
I've got.
You got one.
We'll give you 1.5, so you got the
I
win.
lost big. I lost big.
Yeah, because I got the main,
I was
so
that
that's
convinced
like a
that
bigger point.
Derek's gonna pull it off. I was that convinced.
I think we wanted Dereck to pull it off more.
Yeah, more than.
Yeah, it's hard when you're
believe.
invested.
Yeah,
it's
it's
hard.
it's a hard thing.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, thanks for joining us, and loads more big fights coming up before the year is out. So make sure you stay tuned. We have plenty more coming up. See you next time.
They don't want a war, they don't want a war with big juggernaut, big juggernaut. Hey. They don't want a war, they don't want a war with big juggernaut, big juggernaut. Hey.